And welcome to Silverstone for the opening rounds of the BRSCC Mazda MX-5 Championships. Now, news straight away, current champion Tom Roach has decided to seek success elsewhere, which means the paddock is extremely open and all drivers want to lay down an early season marker. The Championships, as always, is extremely competitive, over 42 entrants this year, which means we're going to operate a split grid format. So without any ado, straight up to Richard for the first race.
Cars on the grid for the first of 4 Mazda MX-5 races, and pole position goes to James Blake Baldwin with Charlie Charman alongside, then Simon Baldwin and JJ Clements on row 2. Third row, Martin Tolley and James Harris. They're followed by Will Blackwell Chambers and Gary Halford. Alan Henderson row 5, next to him is Clive Powles. Roger Chesneau next, then Chris Hart, Darren Lewis and Nick Holmes in 107. They're followed by Michael Fisk and Oliver Allwood. On row 9, Chris Greatorex and Hiri Horelek. Andrew Coombs and Joshua Jackson row 10. 11th row, Paul Bishop and Jason Greatorex. And then on row 12, completing the grid for race 1, is Sam Smith. 20-minute race around the international circuit here at Silverstone. Lights on as we wait for the cars to get off the line. It looks like a pretty good start all round. A few cars, as you would expect, a little bit slower than others, but we're on board with Charlie Charman, who starts on the outside of the front row. Looking up the inside is Simon Baldwin in 48, but Baldwin can't do it. Charman gets a great start, and the bum fight commences behind this hotly competitive championship. And what a place to start. The conditions, to be fair, could be better, but it looks like everyone's made a great start. Will Blackwell Chambers up the inside, the blue car with the green mirrors and trim trying to make up a few positions. So this our camera from Chapel, which leads onto the hangar straight. 3 wide in places, running wide is James Blake Baldwin, car number 6, 10th in the championship last year. On board with Charlie Charman again, you can see getting some distance under the bridge along Hangar Straight and down in towards Stowe. So Charlie Charman, the race leader, is a good squabble going on behind him. Into Stowe Corner they go, side by side, and just getting the better of that. James Harris in 37 emerges in second position. It's a huge field, and the qualifying split into 2 groups for the Mazdas, 23 cars qualifying in each group. The top 12 from Group 1, the top 11 from Group 2 making up the grid for this race. Simon Baldwin heading the gaggle at the moment, but coming down the inside is JJ Clements, who gets it all sideways. Got onto the very slippery stuff on the outside of Club Corner, coming onto the pit straight, but hangs on in there on the outside line. Across the line, this very impressive building known as the Wing, which is the Grand Prix facility. So nothing but the best for the BRSCC on race days here in terms of facilities. And you've got a great shot there of Andrew Coombs closing in on Charlie Charman, who goes out of shot. Was Charlie getting a little bit sideways and perhaps scrubbing off speed, because Andrew Coombs is building up here to try and mount an attack. Look how close he gets to the onboard car. Drops away as they come out of the corner. He'll mount that challenge again. Well, he's a little bit too far back at the moment. It'll be interesting to see how he sets things up down the straight. But back with JJ Clements, who leads this one from Martin Tolley in second position. Martin from Solihull. Looks like he could be on for a second here. JJ Clements has got the fastest lap of the race as well. Charlie Charman, a bit more breathing space now. He seems to have responded to the challenge of Andrew Coombs. So Charman started second, down to third. Good respectable race for him. Now coming into the complex, which leads them back onto the main straight here. And the Blink entered car is coming under pressure again. Andrew Coombs comes offline has a look down the inside. Charlie Charman, you can just see the angle ahead. He's in the car there, so this is good awareness from the pair of them. There's room, and Andrew Coombs is coming through side by side. There's the view from Charman. It's not the view he wanted. Gets a little bit crossed up, going down into farm. So down to 4th position, and Charman wants to try and fight back. Andrew Coombs in front now, the 36 car. Driver based in Penkridge, 48 years of age. So the age range of this championship is absolutely superb. We've got drivers as young as Will Stevenson, 21 years of age. Sam Smith is just 21 as well, the driver we saw earlier on in the race making progress at the back of the field. And then you've got drivers like Chris Hart, age 65. So it's a very, very wide age range and a very happy paddock. But we go on board once again with Charlie Charman, who looks on the outside line as they come down in towards Stowe, the very long hanger straight. And look at the speed that he got out of the corner. Charman retakes 3rd position. Great manoeuvre past Andrew Coombs. So Coombs has got all the work to do once again now as they go into Stowe. Down behind them, Clive Powles and James Harris, busy working hard as well. But the race leader, Jonathan JJ Clements, is there. He's improving his lap times, lap by lap. The lead that he's got at the moment is just around 2 seconds over Martin Tolley, who's chasing him. Martin, as you can see, not close enough to mount a challenge. And some drivers argue that when you've got your mirrors full of a driver, you're less likely to make a mistake. When you've got such a big gap, sometimes it's easier to let the concentration lapse, but we're not seeing any of that from JJ Clements at the moment. The 88 car running sweetly and getting better lap by lap. Martin Tolley dropping away just a little bit, but not too far at this stage. As they still within arm's reach, and maybe that's the secret here. JJ can see him. So the Magna People car looks like it's on its way to the race win. Here's the view from our camera at Stowe at the end of the hanger straight. You can see just further back, Andrew Coombs back in 3rd place in yellow, so we've had a change there again. And here's Charlie Charman, who's got to do all the work again. Can he repeat it on the hanger straight, under the bridge, down into Stowe corner, the inside line covered, or is it? Because Coombs moves out. He wants to get the racing line into the corner, and Charlie Charman goes through, and there's a challenge as well from Clive Powles, who goes up the inside and into 4th place. Powles is through. Last time we saw Powles, he was down behind James Harris. He's dealt with Harris now and goes through into 4th position. Now that could be good news for Charlie Charman, but it could be bad news as well, because Powles could be that much quicker. It just gives you an idea. In fact, here comes Powles, looks up the inside, gets very close, dab on the brakes, doesn't want to get too close. But boy, this is very close MX-5 racing here for the BRSCC. Andrew Coombs looks around the outside line again. Across the line we go, and JJ Clements still at the top of the field. Started on the outside of row 2 after we lost 2 of the main protagonists back on lap 6. James Blake Baldwin and Simon Baldwin getting involved. They will have to come back and fight another day, or another race actually, a little bit later on. But JJ Clements in 88, who took a race win at Rockingham last year, was 8th in the championship, will add Silverstone, the international circuit, to the list of venues that he has triumphed on, and he will be very, very pleased about that. Martin Tolley is in 2nd position, keeping that gap to just over 2 seconds at the moment. Through Stowe, heading down. So Clements really did the hard work, had to pass Charlie Charman to get the lead. Charman's still on for a podium, but out of the final corner and across the line to take the first win of the BRSCC MX-5 Championship. It's Jonathan Clements who does it. He's a very, very happy winner and a deserving winner. Martin Tolley will take 2nd position, some 2.3 seconds down, with Charlie Charman in 3rd place. Here's confirmation of the results. Clements from Tolley and Charman. Andrew Coombs was next from Clive Powles and James Harris. Will Blackwell Chambers in 7th from Darren Lewis, then Sam Smith and Alan Henderson in 10th.
Well, I'm here with second place Martin. How was that for you?
Emotional. I dedicated that one to my late father. It's the first time I've had a full-blown race with a full grid of professional drivers, and we've come second. It's been a hard slog. There's a lot of hard work from the team. Jeremy, Liam, Darren, Paul, just put a few people to mention. I've got to say thank you to my main sponsors, creativetouchdesign.co.uk and Chase Engines. Chase Engines and Nick Gilfillan, they've built me a brilliant engine this season, and it really does make all the difference. I think had we had another 5 laps, it might have been sitting here in first, but never mind. Second it is for today, and we'll see what happens in the race later on.
You were certainly pulling back there, weren't you?
Yeah, we were gaining half a second a lap on him at that point. And I just kept on thinking, just 4 more laps. But the boys will never forgive me if I don't give it the badger.
I think on that bombshell, we should leave it there.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Thanks, Martin. John Clement's first race of the season then, and the first win.
Yeah, it's a fantastic start to the season. I think it's my first win in a car this year, since I started racing in cars. And yeah, lucky you just got off to a good start and made a right tyre choice and everything like that.